Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to show you how I plan out my entire year in advance. Basically, this means that I'm going to write into my calendar all of the things that I already know are going to happen, and I do this because it saves me time. I don't have to every single month write everything in and take the time to do it that way. Anything that I can streamline, you guys know I like to do it. In the past, I have done all the meal planning first, and I liked doing that because I had a blank slate to work with. But the reason I'm switching it this year is because there are certain things that are happening throughout the year that are going to affect the meal plan. So it doesn't make sense for me to plan out the meals of those weeks. For example, we do something in our house we call birthday week. And that is where the birthday person gets to decide everything they want to eat on that week. They get to decide breakfasts, lunches, and dinners. So it doesn't make sense for me to have the dinners already written in for that week because it's just going to be changed anyway. So if I write in everything that would affect the meal planning ahead of time, then it will save me some time down the road of fixing it. Another thing that would affect the meal plan is typically Ross will go and visit a friend in Alaska for a week every single year. And when that happens, sometimes I will go visit someone myself with the kids, or sometimes we just stay home. But often I will go very easy with the meals because I know I am on parenting duty all by myself that week and I just won't have as much time or energy to cook. So I'm going to try doing it this way this year and see which way I like better. If you're new to my channel, I'm Kassy with makingtimeforgiggles.com, and my goal is to help you get 7 extra hours every single week. If that sounds like something you would be into, please subscribe down below and ring the bell next to it so you can be notified when the next video comes out. All right, so the first thing that I am going to do is probably a step that you won't be taking unless you're using the same calendar I am. I am using my meal planning calendar from my Set It and Forget It workbook. And the way I designed this calendar is with blank days. That way, if anyone purchases it, they only have to purchase it once and they can just write in the days every single year. So that's going to be the first thing that I do. I'm going to look at the calendar on my phone and write in all of the days as they would be laid out for this year. And hopefully I won't get distracted. Last year I got a little distracted and I goofed up on one of the months and I had to redo it. So I'm going to try to pay a little closer attention this time. So that's going to be the first step for me, and probably most of you will be able to skip this step. So if that's you, you can just go ahead and move on to the next timestamp and go from there. So this next step is probably where most of you will start, and I'm going to write in all of the birthdays and anniversaries that I want to remember in the calendar. So as I'm doing this, I want to specifically make sure that I leave the birthday weeks open when I am doing my meal planning. So this is actually one of the big reasons I'm doing it in this order versus how I have done it in the past, and I hope that it will just lead to less crossing out of the meal plan and I can just have it blank until people tell me what they want to eat on their birthday week. The next thing that I'm going to do is write in any appointments that I already know that we have for the first part of the year. So I already know when the kids and my first dentist appointments will be, and I'll just write that in so I can get rid of that little reminder card and just have it on the calendar. The next thing that we like to do when we are planning out our next year is figuring out when we are going to take vacations. We don't have any specific dates figured out yet for this year, but we're starting to talk about that. And as soon as we decide on the dates, I will put that on the calendar and make sure that time is blocked off. Also, as soon as we decide on the dates, my husband will request the time off, and it's always nice to be thinking ahead because no one else is typically already asking for that time off, and he doesn't have any problem getting the time off. And often, if you can work it out, it's really nice if you can plan a vacation around one of the other holidays. My husband gets certain holidays off through the year, and it's nice if we can just take an extra day or two off and end up with a nice long weekend instead of having to take the full amount of time off. So those are just good things to think about as you're looking at your calendar. Sit down with your significant other and figure out if you can go ahead and write anything down for your vacations for the year. And then the last thing that I will be writing in my calendar is everything that I already know will be happening. So the girls both take private lessons for their instruments. I know at least through May or June what times those will be, since we already have the schedule for this winter. And I'll be putting that in the calendar so I don't have to write it out every single month. And then I will also be putting in their swim team. I will also be putting in, they've been taking an orchestra class through a school that allows homeschoolers to join, which is awesome. And I have the calendar through the end of the year. I know which days off they will be having and which days they will be having their class. So I'm going to go ahead and put those things in as well. And it just saves me the time from having to put it in every single month. If something does come up and I have to cancel or reschedule, I just cross it out. But it's just nice to already have that place set. And it will be nice, I think, for when I do the meal planning, which should be in the next video, I will already know and can see very easily at a glance which days I should put my busier or more involved rotations on. Those would be the days where we don't have as many appointments. And I can also see which days I can put more simple, predictable, easy meals, because those days are already very busy. So that is how I am setting up my calendar for this year. If you have anything else that you like to do as you are looking ahead for the next year, please leave that in the comments down below, because I always love to hear your ideas for how to make life easier. As always, I'm Kassy with makingtimeforgiggles.com, and I make videos all about how to simplify your life. So please be sure to subscribe down below if you have not already, and I will see you on the next video.